Hey guys, welcome to Ham Radio with K0PIR in my YouTube channel. This is GridTracker, and I've been using GridTracker with Log4OM and WSJT-X. Doesn't this have a nice map? I really like it. I'll show you how I have it installed. Okay, well, if you've watched my last video on Log4OM, I threw in WSJT-X. And Log4OM and WSJT-X works really good. But I like to have something else to point out the contacts that I need, either the grid squares that I'm chasing, or the states, or the DX that I'm chasing. And one alternative is GridTracker, and GridTracker came out a while back mainly as a companion program for WSJT-X, but it's evolved to be much more than that. But today I'm going to show you how I have it integrated with WSJT-X and Log4OM. So let's get started. Okay, well, here I've got Log4OM started up, and again, look at my website. There's a post on it, and it goes through installing and configuring Log4OM, and then installing and configuring Log4OM and WSJT-X. So have a look at that previous article if you're interested in it. Now we're going to get it set up for GridTracker. So I'm going to go into Settings and Program Configuration. And we're going to go down. I'm just going to breeze through a couple of tabs here, a couple of windows. This is still checked off. It's under Applications. And then the Connections. This is where we need to make a couple of changes. And we want to add these two lines in. If you followed my last video on Log4OM and WSJT-X, we entered this line in and we had it checked off. So to use GridTracker, we want to uncheck that and add these two lines. And to add them in, we simply put the port in. Let's say 2238. We'll do this top line here, 2238, and the connection name, we'll just name it GridTracker call. And then over at service type, we want to enter in JT message and click on the plus sign. So there we got it, and it's checked off. We don't need that one because I have it up here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Oops. Okay, we don't need that one, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And now we've got these two checked off. Now one of these pulls the call sign and information from GridTracker, and the other one gets the logging information from GridTracker. So we want these two in, and we want them both enabled. And click Save Apply and exit. We'll exit out of there. It refreshes. Now let's open up WSJT-X. Here we go, and I need to bring up the waterfall. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and erase those and then stop it so it doesn't decode anymore. Now we set this up last time, and I'll go in and we'll take another look at the reporting tab. The reporting tab, we have these checked off, and then this main UDP server is 2237. And there's at least a couple of different ways to integrate these to get them all to work together. And there's another idea of enabling this second UDP server and swapping the COM ports here, or the serial port numbers, swapping them, and then setting it up a little bit differently in GridTracker. But this way that I'm doing it, it's been working for me, and I've tested it out quite a bit, and I just didn't care for the other ways to configure it. So also on this reporting tab, they mention go ahead and enable clear DX call after grid logging. So I'll show you what that does. But it does clear the DX call after you log. So that's one recommendation that they make. So all this will be the same from the last time that we did it. Just check this off. Go ahead and click OK. Now I want to bring up GridTracker. And I've already got mine installed. This is what it looks like when it comes up. I'm offline right now. So this is what it looks like, and we're not receiving anything because I disabled it over here in WSJT-X. I suppose first I ought to show you where you download this. GridTracker, the web page, website. They got a real nice website. GridTracker doesn't have a lot of documentation, but it's got a good quick start guide now. And I'm going to go in here and take a look at it. Home of GridTracker. This is where we want to go to download it. And I'll tell you something interesting I learned about it after I downloaded it. And what you want to do after you download it and install it, before you run the setup or the installation, you want to open up Log4OM and then WSJT-X, just like I have it here. We got that open, and then we got WSJT-X open. And then when you go to install GridTracker, hopefully it will read the configuration file of WSJT-X. And if it does, then you don't have to configure so much in GridTracker. So download it, install it. It's real easy to install. And then once you open it, see if it reads that configuration file. And if it does, it'll have your call sign in there and a few other things, your grid square. But if it doesn't, the first place you want to go after you open it up is to the settings, and that is right here. It's these little gears. And again, I'm offline. That's why my map looks like that. Go to settings in the general tab, and under this first box, the receive UDP is 2237. And it's gonna be pulling that information from WSJT-X. Now, if we still had 2237 enabled in Log4OM, then they would fight over that port. So we want to make sure that we disabled, just like I showed you in Log4OM, we disabled that one line that we had in there under connections. So 2237 right there, and then 2238 here, and this is forwarding the UDP messages, and we want to enable it. So we got it enabled. And then there's a bunch of other tabs you can go through and play around with. The second tab is the lookup tab, and I did use QRZ.com, the free in-paid membership. That's what I've been using, but since I'm offline right now, it's not pulling any of the information. Next, we can go to audio, and I think I just left this alone. The maps is kind of interesting. You got different maps in here that you can use. This is the default one. It's Humanitarian by OpenStreetMap and the International. And that's a real nice one. When I go online, it's a real nice map. I've changed a few things in here. You can take a look at my website, the article there, and there will be a picture posted, a screen capture, and you can have a look at it. I've been playing around with it. It's not a big deal. I've changed a couple of colors in here and fit the map to QRZ, and so when I make a contact with a person, the map zooms in on it. So if I call somebody and I start to transmit, you'll see the map zoom in on the person, and I think that's kind of cool. So I'm going to leave it there. The next tab is the logging tab, and I'm using GridTracker. GridTracker has its own log file, so I'm using it as a backup, and it's just I think good to use. So I'm going to leave it. It starts up, and then when I log a station, it logs to it. And it will also log right down here to Log4OM. I've got it enabled, and that's the IP address, and 2236. That's the other port that we configured in Log4OM. So make sure you have that enabled. And then when you log, you'll see a message pop up that it got logged. And that's about it. I got an alert over here. One of my friends up in Alaska, KL7HRO, whenever he comes on, whenever I decode him over here, there will be a message that pops up that tells me that he's on the air. So that's pretty cool. I've seen that happen a couple of times. I had a couple other stations in there too, but I've made contact with them. So I need to add a couple more. And so when my friends come on, I can try to make a contact with them. So that's a pretty neat feature there. So yeah, GridTracker is like JT Alert, but it's got this really cool map, and it's an animated map. You can see the little dancing lines there. Somebody's got a QSO going here. Let's see, yeah, KC8R, what is it, RPO, KC8 RPO. And W7 RTO. They've got a QSO going. That's what the lines are. There's another QSO down here, another one. So there's a lot of different things that you can change in GridTracker to make it suit the way that you want it to look. I like this. The mode is auto. We'll take a look at this column here. You'll see that I'm receiving. If you're not receiving, then something's wrong. If you have WSJT-X open and it's decoding, and you're not decoding anything or receiving anything, then something's wrong. It's probably that UDP port. Maybe it's blocked by something. Make sure there's nothing else that could be taking that port. So you should be decoding, receiving. You'll see the RX calls here. That's what I've received live, so I can erase it, and it goes to 0. And if I want to clear the DX, I can just clear that. Now I'm live right now, and you see a bunch of other ones popped up here on the map, so I can change that, put the little balloons on. Let's go back to the grid square. There you go. And these colors, they go with this legend down here. The green is somebody calling CQ, and this blue is somebody that I'm hearing. There's some more blue out here. And the RX calls, they're increasing right now. I'm decoding more. So in this box, the band I've usually have set to auto. The mode, auto, propagation mixed, and then the data live because I'm offline. And if I wanted to show my logbook, I could do that. And that will show me where I have some contacts. But I like to go to I like to stay in the live view, and that's just what I'm hearing. And then these icons, you can go through them and play around. This is the open call roster, and that's one that I constantly have up, and I usually just put it right there. And this tells me what I need. I'm looking for, over in this box, I've got wanted checked off, the grid and DX, and then CQ only. So if I got a grid square that I need, it shows up highlighted. If I got a DX that I need, it'll show up highlighted. Those little dark areas in there that you saw, when it's got a dark interior, it means that I've contacted them, but I just didn't get it, just don't have it confirmed yet. So I look for the highlighted ones, and when I see a highlighted one that I want, it's just like over in this window in WSJT-X. When I see one that I want, I see these calling CQ, I need that grid square. I'm going to take a look at the scope up here, the wide graph. I'm in a free spot over here, so I can go ahead and give him a call. Oh, there's one. He's in Cuba. And when I clicked on that call sign, I started transmitting. And you can see I'm calling him. I'm up here in South Dakota, and I'm calling him way down here. Let's see if he didn't come back to me, so I'm going to go ahead and halt it. And notice when I halted it, it backed off. Let me go ahead and toggle this, and there's the other map. That's a nice looking map. That's the default. So I am online. Let me see. Let me go over to 20 meters. Because there's not a whole lot of activity. I can look up here. And there's a lot more activity, it looks like, on 40 meters right now. So let's go up to 40 meters. I'm looking at this graph. Let's go up to 40 meters and see what's going on. And I'm going to hit my tune. Going to erase it. Clear it. Alright, well there's a couple that came in, so I'm just going to double click on him. I see him over here. I can double click and return the call. Let's see, so I got two of them calling me, and it's showing each one of them. This is W8RJC, and this is the Kilo India 4, and he's down here. So he's calling me. There's a little circle there, and that indicates he's the calling station. He's the one transmitting right now. I'll go ahead and click OK. And there was another station in there, W8. Go ahead and give him a call. He sent a 73, so I'm going to go ahead and call the W8 station. W8RJC, and that logging window popped up pretty quick. I'll pause here and show you what it looks like. Same window that in WSJT-X that you always have. Okay, yeah, I'm putting out 50 watts. I'm on the Alpha Delta. It's not real good conditions this morning. You know, well, that's a pretty strong signal from me. I sent him a minus 14. It's still hit a pretty strong signal in there. So that's the way to do it. I logged it, and if I go over to Log4OM and pull it up, it'll have these last two stations. It needs to do a refresh, and there it is, pops it up. And if I'm there, it's got the names in there. So if I'm online, it'll populate the names and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've really been enjoying it. I enjoy it so much because of the call roster, and I'm just choosing the first couple up at the top, because that's the ones that I've heard more recently. And I'm looking for grid squares. When I have that checked off, it'll be highlighted. If I uncheck it, you'll see I lose that one. So I didn't make a contact with him. And I'm looking for, let's see, DXCC. If I uncheck that, it's not going to change anything. CQs only. There, it's going to add some more in there. But I like having just the CQ stations calling CQ enabled, and then I can choose the one that I want. So I've been going along pretty good, getting new grid squares that I need, and I need a lot of them. But it's a lot of fun, and this is a pretty neat program. It's free. You know, you can donate to the cause, and it's all on the website, GridTracker. So have a look at that. Have a look at my website, and I'll have a post on this. It'll have the screen captures you can take a closer look at. Okay, well that about does it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I operate it at home while I'm online, offline, And while I'm portable, online or offline, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of fun to use. And I hope you like this video and you find it informative and useful. If you have any questions or comments, please make them below. I'll reply to everything. And if I have the answer, I'll be happy to share it. Otherwise, if I don't have the answer, maybe somebody else will see the question and answer it for you. So I appreciate the comments on my website and on YouTube an awful lot. And like I said, if you comment, I'll be sure to reply. Thanks for watching. Please remember, like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends. 73 and good DX.